It's the return of the Widow's Peak. So, I want to talk about something that nobody will care about, but I think that's the point of reason why I made this channel. Did y'all? Okay, we're going to be talking about Mr. Ratburn coming out. Unfortunately, people finding out Mr. Ratburn's gay. Not only gay, he married a man on Arthur. I know a lot of people saying, one, I didn't know Arthur still make episodes. Yes, they do. They've been still making episodes. Every once in a while I check in and it's like, oh, they still got new Arthur episodes. This is like the voice actors change and all the other shit. So, yeah, they still make episodes. And two, I don't mind this. Let's just say, let's put this out first. I do not have a problem with the LGBT or LGBT community. But what I'm about to say, I don't think it's against the LGBT, but I think it might actually help the LGBT. But who am I? I'm just a straight black man. Anyway, I haven't physically seen the episode, but I've heard what goes on. Unfortunately, Mr. Ratburn just talks about him getting married. He was like, he's getting married, and the whole episode is like, they're trying to figure out who's the woman, and they see Ratburn with this woman, and they think this woman is really bossy, and it's like, it's going to make him a very, very discouraged teacher and all the other stuff. Come to find out, the woman that was with Ratburn was his sister, and he's getting married, and when he walks down the aisle, he's getting married to a man. So they find out, oh, that's when you find out, oh, Mr. Ratburn's gay, and all the other stuff. First things first, if you really thought Mr. Ratburn's gay, you're a fucking liar. I hate when people say, oh, you should have known Mr. Ratburn's gay. It's like, if anybody watched Mr. Ratburn, the only thing you know that he was a very strict teacher, and he loved fucking cake. All right, that was his two traits out of everything you saw in Arthur. He was very hard on his kids, but which most male teachers are. Male teachers are usually harder on students because they actually want you to learn. Not saying female teachers don't, but male teachers. I think a lot of male teachers grab your attention better than most female teachers because most male teachers don't play that shit. So those are the only two traits you remember Mr. Ratburn. All right, they never indicate that he was homosexual, which I don't. Now the thing is, I know it sounds like I'm about to bash Mr. Ratburn for being gay. Nah, I don't have a problem with making Mr. Ratburn gay. I think especially in this time of era, it was like a lot of more people are coming out and people are, homosexuality is not like this taboo thing no more. It's very out and open. People are just openly gay. They get to live their life. I want you to live their life. My problem is I feel like with something like this, they should have set it up better. And this is not just about Mr. Ratburn, but this is more or less an inclusion because I've been seeing, I know it's probably just a minor people, but it's always like that inclusion that they're not allowing LGBT, because they did this with Marvel. It was like Marvel was Avengers Endgame, and people was like Avengers Endgame was good, but there was no representation of the LGBT or something. And I don't know if that's a big complaint or that's a little complaint, but it is a complaint. And this is just me since I have a degree in film, and this is how I feel anyway. I don't want to force things that doesn't need to be there, for no reason. Okay, if there's no reason for a black person to be there, I say this all the time, if there's no reason for a black person to be there, then don't put it there. I understand there's black people in Ireland, but most of the Ireland's people is white. I know there's some black people, but I think you're getting what I'm saying. If there's no reason to put a black person there, I don't want a black person there just because. I want him to fit in the story well, and it goes into the story. Second of all, I'm sick and tired, and I'm saying this not just for the LGBT, but just a race thing is first. let someone's art be their art. Please do not depict someone's art just because it doesn't fit your criteria. I don't. The thing about Mr. Ratburn, I don't mind him being gay, but they should have at least gave him backstory. And this is my whole thing. Like, if you gave him backstory about him being gay, that's not. I mean, that's okay. Because you can lead it up to him like coming out, and then like I feel like Arthur missed a very good point of explaining homosexuality to children. Because let's be real, most people don't know how to explain homosexuality to kids, and I think it's a pure lie to say treat them like. Even though you should treat them as normal people, a lot of people don't. A lot of people treat homosexuals very wrong. There are countries where people are just getting killed for being gay. I feel like you got to tell people the honest truth with homosexuals. Like them finding out Mr. Ratburn was gay or something like that. That I feel like you could explain. This could have been a perfect time to explain homosexuality to children, and like because it's so prevalent now, it's so open, and I don't. Even though I don't think you should teach it in class, I feel like shows like Arthur and all that stuff, you can teach life lessons like this. It gives you a reason to teach life lessons. Now I'm gonna say this: people who are gay are no different than people who are straight. They live normal lives too. But you can like talk to like there are people that prefer the same sex than the opposite sex. Because kids are gonna ask questions like why is those two men kissing and all that other stuff, and then like and let's be real, most adults are not for it, so they're not gonna really give them the most sound advice, in my opinion. But they'll just give them what they know, and sometimes maybe what they know kind of be like very insightful or detrimental. So with that being said, they could have like something like Mr. Ratburn being married. You could have flesh this out into a couple more episodes. Not only you could have fleshed this out to a couple more episodes, you could gave Mr. Ratburn stories like when he found out that he was attracted to men, and like how him growing up attracted to men like affected his life and all that other stuff. It doesn't have to be very dramatic, but you know, just like simple as him being attracted to, and he just knew. Like that could have done something, and that could have been like at least insightful enough to like be informational to kids. Because I don't personally like it where like a person is straight. I'm not saying like Mr. Ratburn was always straight, because you really did never see him with a person, but I don't know if they intended to make him gay either. But at the same time, it was like you see him with a person, and then I don't like it when you just have a person, and then next thing you know, he's gay. If the person started out as gay, that's different. But I feel like Iceman, like I'm pretty sure Iceman was like never gay to begin with. Especially like in X-Men. X-Men, he was like dating Rogue. In the old X-Men movies, Iceman was dating Rogue. So next thing you know, he went from someone that was a straight man, and then they turned him gay. That's what I don't like, because I feel like you're forcing inclusion. I don't want to force inclusion. I feel like if you're going to include somebody, let it be in your story, let it fit in your story. But with this, and this goes out to the Marvel movie because I think I did explain that. All right, let me just cut it short. I feel like Arthur did a good enough job to where I hope they flesh this out even more about Mr. Ratburn being gay. I hope they do, you know, if you're going to like put this in there, at least have some talks about it. At least flesh it out. Like, how would a kid, you know, like respond to homosexuality and all that other stuff and then like make a good story out of it. See, I mean, you already made him married. You already made him marry the man. That's okay, but at least like make a good story out of it. And that's all I really want is a good story out of it where I could say, y'all did a good job. So that's my opinion on it. Let me know what y'all think. Till then, my name is Mosquito Fly, and I'm out. Peace.